POC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from the company TINYUET. And this is a new smart lock. This is their smart lock, and it really goes beyond a normal smart lock. And what this does is it actually gives you fingerprint access to your door and more, which is kind of groovy. But what we're going to do today is we're going to pop this open, we're going to see what it looks like, and then you'll see for yourself maybe if this is something for you. But let's go ahead and give it a look. When you open the box, the first thing you're presented with is the instructions. And the instructions are 3 printed sheets of paper, which doesn't really give you too much to go off. It isn't going to give you step-by-step instructions on installing the lock or anything. All it does is give you a brief introduction. It talks about the benefits of using a fingerprint to help double secure your door lock with. It walks you through adding fingerprints to the lock, and of course some what all the alerts mean when it has audible and LED alerts. So it tells you what status it's in pretty much. But that's it. So for anything beyond that, you are going to want a professional if you don't have experience with the door, or at least a friend that does have experience, or else you might be scratching your head a little bit and you don't want to break your door. So one of the first things we'll come to right here is the latch. Now this is a commercial style latch. It is, a little plastic protector there. It is larger than your normal latch. So if you're getting this for a residential building, so an apartment, a condo, a home, it's not the typical latch style that's smaller than this. This is a big latch. So if you're living in a building that uses the commercial style, or this is for an office building or anything that uses this style, then you're ready to go. If not, then you might want to try a different model and or modify the door if you have permission to do so, and get it to work with this. Adapt from the smaller latch to the larger latch. You have 2 halves of the lock. This is the inside portion, and both halves feature this neat rubber gasket on the back that just fits to the lock. So when you secure it tightly to the door, it protects it from all the elements so that water can't get back there and into the electronics or anything. And again, this is the inside of the door, so you have a hatch at the top and a mechanical switch here at the bottom. The hatch reveals the compartment where the batteries are going to be, as well as controls. And with those controls, you're able to assign fingerprints to this lock, as well as other attributes to the lock. It's secured with a screw hole. So that prevents somebody from simply just walking up and popping it open like you would normally find on a consumer level smart lock, because those you're able to freely slide them open. This one's secured with a lock. Again, a regular Phillips screw, it isn't really the most secure method, because if this is in a commercial building, someone can take a look at that and be like, oh, what's behind that hatch? So you might want to put a piece of tape or something over it, something that hides it, maybe an ID number or something, with that label printer. That way people don't immediately know that, hey, there's a screw behind it that makes it easy to open the door, or at least the hatch. But the other half of the lock is the fun part. Again, you have the rubber gasket on the back. You have a cable that runs in between the 2 halves of the lock through the door. But the front side has all your access. So you have mechanical key access to this lock, but you also have card access. And that is done using these. It's not a normal card. It's actually a key fob that goes onto your keys, and then you just tap it to this, and that unlocks the door. And you have the option, of course, this is what we really want, fingerprint access. Put your finger in the hole and touch it against the sensor. As long as your fingerprint has been assigned to the lock using the back panel there, that'll unlock the door. And you can use this to, kind of like a dual lock protection, so that way you need a fingerprint in order for the mechanical key to work and so forth. You also have right here a little hex screw, and this is common on a lot of these style of doors where you have a handle that shoots off to the side, which typically should be able to allow you to switch the handle from one direction to the next, because not everybody's door opens this way. So that way you don't have to have a left and right model. You just unscrew that, flip the handle around, screw it back in, and you're good to go. You have the 2 keys that it comes with. These are the mechanical keys. They're a little bit different from your normal keys. And you have the hardware for the latch that goes through the door, connects between the 2 locks, and controls the latch to get it to move in and out. And the latch itself, you have a normal latch plus a deadbolt, and that's it. So again, this is a commercial style latch, so make sure this is the style you're looking for in your door. Let it be something that it supports already, or something you can convert to by making the hole that's there bigger. But you have the 2 halves of the door. You're able to switch the handles from one direction to the other. You have key fob access, key access, Fingerprint Access, which is so cool. There was no app for this, so it's not something you're going to open up with your mobile phone. So you're going to set everything from the backside right here. So assigning all the fingerprints and so forth. So if this is something that looks interesting to you, go check them out. We're going to have some links in the description there and a little bit more information to help answer any questions. There's a comment section below if you want to follow us. There's a subscription button, so subscribe to us, chat with us down below, and let us know what you think. Maybe you own one of these, you know, how do you feel about it? Or if you're planning to, you know, how do you feel about the idea of putting something like this on your door? So go check that section down there. Go check us out on the website at plcnetwork.net, where we have an enormous amount of stories to go along all this content that you see here on YouTube. And as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.